Charles Andrew Pittman, 2004 M 362. Mr. Pittman is charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. The warrant reads as follows. On Wednesday, the 12th of February at 7:47 a.m., officers of the Jackson Police Department were called to Luther Hall on the campus of Union University, where Union University security had discovered a female, later determined to be Olivia Greenlee, deceased in a vehicle which was locked. The preliminary cause of death has been determined to be a gunshot wound to the head. Found in the car was a 9mm handgun. Investigators began retracing the hours preceding the discovery of the body and determined that Charles Pittman, later determined to be fiance of the deceased, was the last person to be in her company before the discovery of her body. Upon being initially interviewed by the investigators, Pittman stated that on February the 11th, 2014, he had dinner with the victim, after which she dropped him off at his apartment. Pittman stated that he became concerned about the victim's emotional state. Pittman further indicated that he immediately began texting her, and along with an associate began searching for the victim, even notifying the victim's parents who traveled from Dyersburg, Tennessee to assist in the search efforts. On the morning of February 12th, 2014, Pittman called Union University security and asked if they checked the campus in an effort to find the victim. On the 14th day of February 2014, in a follow-up interview, investigators asked for Pittman to provide the clothing he was wearing while he was having dinner with the victim. Pittman then attempted to mislead the investigators by giving them clothing which video evidence revealed he was not wearing at the restaurant. When confronted about his deception, Pittman stated that he needed to tell the truth. Pittman then provided investigators with the laundered, bleached clothing that video reveals he was wearing at the restaurant while in the company of the victim. Pittman then deviated from his initial statements and stated that after leaving the restaurant, he and the victim drove to Luther Hall. Pittman stated that while sitting in the chair with the victim at Luther Hall, he provided her with a handgun, 9mm, which was later found to be in her car, and that she shot herself in the head. Pittman further stated that he left the victim in the car, locked the doors, and began walking back to his apartment located in Cherry Grove Apartments, and that while en route to his apartment, he began to sending text messages to the victim and placing phone calls to her to avoid suspicion upon her body being found. It has been determined that the 9mm handgun found in the victim's car had been stolen from a roommate of Pittman prior to the incident. Evidence at the scene contradicts Pittman's account of Greenlee's death. Investigators believe probable cause exists that Pittman murdered Greenlee. Where do you live, sir?
In Cherry Grove.
How long have you lived in Jackson?
Since June.
Where did you live prior to Jackson?
In Milan, Tennessee, my parents.
Do you work, sir?
Yes, at Logan's Roadhouse.
Do you have family or friends that live in this area?
Yes, in Milan. And Jackson.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Do you have an alcohol or drug problem?
No, sir.
Do you have any mental problems?
No, sir.
Do you know whether or not you plan to hire an attorney?
I cannot afford one.
You cannot afford an attorney. State have a recommendation on a bond opinion.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the charges and circumstances, the state recommends to be held without bond. The defendant was himself in the scene, the state has contributed evidence to presenting. It also requests that there's no contact be in place with Union University, so in the future attorney cannot go on with the person on campus.
I'm going to order that he be held without bond, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. Thank you, sir.